Hello. We've got me and we've got James. This is not Jacob. I apologise, mate. Your Yoda over there has just made a massive mistake, and now I understand why you're so bad at your job, because he's your mentor.
That doesn't make me.
I'm winding you up. James started on me with a video of him as well.
Everyone wants to see James.
Okay.
And his new haircut.
Where's you been? Have you been for a take? Yeah. Have they done your beard the way you did it last time as well?
They have. They made it shorter.
Yeah,
The beard is like, it's
looking sharp.
it goes up a level, doesn't
Yeah.
it? You know what I mean?
It's like in HD now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fully like, it's 8K. 8K
When I
beard.
play paddle now, I won't have a sweaty fod with me hair.
I bet you still do.
I will, but it won't be as
We're
bad.
banning paddle chat, mate. I'm sorry, we can't be having. There's a separate podcast somewhere for that. I don't know
There
where you'd
is.
possibly find. Where would you
find it?
Where would you possibly find a paddle podcast stroke YouTube channel?
No idea.
Okay.
No
You got a
idea.
chance. Have you got your chance to literally sell it now?
Between the Glass Paddle Podcast.
There you go.
With me and Benj.
There you go. If you didn't say, know what? I've played paddle. It's absolutely awful. But I know what the addiction is. I can feel the addiction. Like that thing when you play a game and you're rubbish at it, but you just can't leave it. You're compelled to go back because you're like, this is so simple that I'm an idiot for not being better at it. So I have to get better at it.
Yeah.
That's it. Honestly, it is.
No, it is so addictive. It is. It is.
Right, it is Club Call. If you want to give us a call, please do. I know we're an hour early and there's probably about 7 of you watching, but I've got an important appointment at Hill Dickinson Stadium tonight. So that's why I'm wearing a polo t-shirt.
And I did think you're looking pretty sharp, to be fair. That running's doing you well as well.
Yeah.
And,
I used to be a fat bitch and now I'm not. So
fair play.
Fair play. Mike just popped in. He wasn't even supposed to be here, but he wanted to come in and have paddle bants with the lads because these are two now paddle. There's a word I want to use, but I'm not allowed to use it on here. These are paddle lovers.
Paddle lovers, yeah.
Paddle lovers. No, these have firmly gone into the paddle. I want to see the day where James wants to go and play paddle via a motorway. Now, then I know. Then I know.
That's when the
That's
love.
when the love for paddle.
True love.
Yeah.
True love.
And also that means that a game of paddle in the Trafford Centre.
Is the paddle course in the Trafford Centre?
I reckon
There's
there's probably
not in the Trafford Centre, but there is one at Trafford Park.
I could imagine they'll probably build one within the world's biggest JD Sports.
That'll be
Just
there.
for you.
I think they will.
Just for you.
Just for you, because they'll know.
Like Christmas.
They'll know.
Giving out free shorts.
Yeah. But hey, well, they've got a barbers in there.
Oh, well, not that I need to know anything about that. Like,
paddle.
rub it in.
This is the dream come true for James. A game of paddle in the JD Sports, which we all know is James's favourite shop.
Always thought.
And if you want to watch these two playing paddle and talk about it, they're coming on the Paddle Podcast on Friday. So subscribe.
Not paid.
The video will be out the 19th of April.
He's
In the
already plugged it
description.
once.
I've already
Jesus
plugged it once.
Christ.
Between the Glass Paddle Podcast. Go and subscribe, please. Even if you don't want to watch it, just subscribe to help a Blue out. Thanks.
Yeah. Do that. Just do it for...
We filmed with the Redmen today, and you might want to watch that one as well. See how that went.
You always like a little bit of anti-Redmen. Do you know what I mean?
We had the week before the derby.
I'm liking it. Yeah, Club Call, so just give us a bell. The link is in the description of Toffee TV Premier and also YouTube members. But one of the things I wanted to ask you about, you were here on Friday, I wasn't, lucky me, was I came in after you'd gone, I think, or were you still here when I came in? Yes. You have been a little bit down on Hill Dickinson, which is fair enough. Fair enough, I understand that. You've been a little bit down on Hill Dickinson and football in general.
Yes.
Where football is going. Yeah. And I totally understand that, mate. I totally understand that. Football is eating itself, and if we don't all wake up soon, it'll be gone. But has Saturday rekindled your love that was starting to maybe disappear a little bit?
Yes, in a very simple word. No, I think the down on Hill Dickinson, just to caveat it all, it wasn't the actual Hill Dickinson. I was really excited for us to go and wanted to move. there's so many factors as to why it's landed like a damn squib for me personally. You know, the kick-off times is a major reason. Obviously, just transitioning into a new stadium, everyone getting the routine, so on and so forth. But obviously, we went to Brighton game. That was always going to take care of itself. The atmosphere was incredible. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And obviously, it was sunny. You know, it was just great. And then as the weeks went on, it just wasn't landing with me. The atmosphere was poor. And for me, I'm massive on the atmosphere. That's why I want to go.
Yeah.
Because if there is no atmosphere, I'll just sit at home watching the telly. Yeah. Because what's the point if there's nothing to sing about or to shout about and act like a divvy? You know, that's what I'll go to the match for.
Yeah. You don't act like a divvy any other time.
No, absolutely. So it's like, you know, some people go like, oh, it's because Everton are doing rubbish. So, well, no, because they're actually doing better this season. Yeah. And since I've been going to watch them, they've always been rubbish. It's nothing to do with that. It's going and feeling like you're part of something. Yeah. And I felt so disconnected from the club and football in general that I stopped going. I'll be honest, I stopped going for weeks. I just gave me ticket to my father-in-law. And
don't you like your father-in-law?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he had a little operation done, so he hasn't been able to go. So I've gone to Burnley game and then to the Chelsea game, and I absolutely loved the Chelsea game. Everything about it. We spoke about it in here on Friday, and I was excited on Friday, and that was before obviously knowing how good it was going to be. I think a big part of it was because it was on a Saturday. Yeah, like genuinely, it was. I was looking forward to going. You know, we had the discussion around the bus welcome, and now I didn't go to the bus welcome, but I was made up there was one because I knew that would help lead into the atmosphere going into the ground. And it's exactly what happened. You know, the atmosphere before the game was just it was so good. And then the team responded. You know, they started with high level intensity, and it got the crowd, and they kept that intensity level all the way through the match. Yeah. And I genuinely left with had any voice and a sore throat, and I loved it. And I walked out thinking, oh, I've got 8 weeks now. You know, like I really wanted to get back in, when genuinely every other time other than the Brighton game, I've left and gone, I just want to go home. So really buzzing. I cannot wait for the derby. Can't wait, honestly. So yeah, it was superb.
Yeah, I do think having something to look forward to does make a difference, doesn't it? Rather than it being a chore or just a night. I mean, I walked out of the game on Saturday. Like Saturday was like, it was almost like the perfect day for me. It's like we got down there. It was nice weather.
Liverpool had been beaten.
To be honest, I wasn't even that arsed. I was hoping they was going to draw, if I'm honest, because of who they were playing. Seeing the wall of blue sort of as the bus, I didn't go in because I didn't want to be covered in blue. I was going in there. I was in Village.
Oh yeah, I
was in Village Street. So
what was that like, by the way?
It was all right. I'll come on to that. Yeah. It was almost like the perfect day. Saw Marco Materazzi outside, like nobody spotted him. No one spotted him, and I was like, Marco Materazzi. Like my brother-in-law has jumped on a pitch and then
you had the Maldini t-shirt on as well.
When I got inside, I was like, we got in Village Street and he was in Village Street. I don't know what happened, but
were you stalking him?
He must have turned up late. Like he must have asked Everton or told Everton he was coming late because they didn't have a seat for him, and they put him in the press box.
Right.
So he sat in the press box, and they got him in the lounge to talk on the stage. But he could. I don't think he really has. He can speak English, obviously, but I don't think he has a massive grasp on understanding English, especially when it's a Scouse compare and he's speaking quite fast. So his answers to the questions were basically the answers he wanted to give on just general, like being at Everton and stuff, which happens a lot, doesn't it? When sometimes you're watching an interview and they don't quite get it, so they just give their own answers. And I got a picture with him there because I had my Maldini top on. And then the whole day, the way he played, that was just brilliant. The result was brilliant. I had 2 fellas next to me. I think they were Ukrainian. They were going off their heads. They were just at the time of their lives. So that added to it. Just seeing the South stand, and it was just a brilliant day. And when I was walking out, we stayed for about an hour, maybe an hour after the game. But when I was walking out, I was looking at all the pubs. I was thinking, like, they were all shocker, and everyone was dead happy. And it reminded me of like seeing like the Winslow and the pubs on County Road. And I was thinking, like, these pubs must have been absolutely desperate. Must have been desperate for something like this to happen. To
Desperate for a weekend game?
just to play on the weekend, because people. This was like getting 8 o'clock now. It's like people must have been, you know, staying out, and apparently time was chocker before the game and after the game. I was thinking, these have had to wait about 4 or 5 months for this to happen. It's like these are pubs that are trying to survive being new to the area, that are only get busy when it's a match day. And they've had to endure all these Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Mondays. And finally, they've got a Saturday, and I was so made up for all of them. Because obviously, you're buying into the whole thing, aren't you? You're buying into the ground, but you're buying into the area as well.
Absolutely.
All those people who own the places, a lot of them will be Evertonians. I know the lads at Murphy's have been going for like 4 or 5 years now. You know, it was just brilliant to see that. It was brilliant to see people enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I think, like you say, that's a really good point, actually, because without those places creating that atmosphere outside the ground, they go hand in hand. So it's, you know, for them to be successful, yeah, you need weekend games, don't you? You know, the games are literally just, you know, if they're midweek, you know, people are travelling, rushing home from work, trying to get to work, trying to get back from work, they're driving and stuff like that. And so, yeah, for that area just to grow and expand, there needs to just be weekend games. And it's crazy.
Isn't that mad to say?
Oh, it is crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
It's absolutely crazy. But no, the whole day, like you say, it literally couldn't have been any more perfect. It was superb.
Right, I'll tell you about Village Street after we've had Mike on. Let's get Mike on. A different Mike, obviously. Hello, Mike.
Evening, lads. Okay.
Go on, mate. Go on.
How are we, lads? Okay.
Yeah, not too bad.
Good, mate. Just wanted to come on. I drop on every couple of months. Can't catch every week, but how nice is it just to enjoy a bit of positivity at the club, staying high in the league, pushing, looking up and not down.
Yeah,
the people say, you know, what if we don't make Europe? Well, if we don't, so what? I want what's best. I want to make Champions League, but if we don't, how much nicer has the season been from the past 3-4 seasons of not sleeping this part of the year to being looking up and thinking, well, hang on, what a joy it is to pick out of the 3 European competitions that we want to be in. And I just want to give the manager credit as well. A couple of times over the season, a lot of people have called for his heads when we've had a bit of a disastrous game, or we've went out to cups and stuff like that. But what a man, like he is us, isn't he? And I just think, for me, that's the best thing the Freakins have done since they've come in. And fair play to him and the players, and what a joy it is at the moment to be a Blue.
Yeah, he's been he like you just said there, he is like one of us, isn't he? He does seem to feel the same things we feel, and he definitely has that. I think the connection he has is really interesting, because it is a connection where you understand. Yeah, whether he makes good decisions or bad decisions, you always feel like he makes them from the right place, and there's no like other thought, there's no like ego driven from like other managers we've had recently. It feels like he's not fighting with the fans over things. He's just trying to make the right decisions. They're not always the right decisions. It doesn't feel like at times, but he ain't fighting anyone. He's just trying to do the best for Everton.
I think you guys know more than most. Sorry, Mike. Sorry to jump in there. I think you guys know more than most. We're a hard fan base to please, and if we're winning and we're doing well, then people are quizzing why the younger players aren't getting a look in. Well, there's obviously a reason, and I think that's proved time after time when certain players have stepped in and have not stepped up. So, if anything, this season's taught us to sit back, trust the manager, and you can go on about all these European fancy managers, but there's not many managers that could have done what Moisey's done this season. I agreed with everything, no, but to be in a position we're in now, could you name me a manager that probably could have done that and kept the fan base on board?
No, I mean, Mike.
No, I think you're right. I mean, obviously, I've been critical of him, like certain other people have as well, at certain times where some of the decision making is or appears to be a little bit baffling. But exactly like what Ped said is, but you do know it's coming from a place of he's trying to do what's right, and in general, it's worked out. Obviously, in the league positions, prove that. Another good thing as well is just the development of some of the players under him. You know, like James Garner has gone tenfold since he's come in. Michael Keane is a completely different defender under David Moyes than he has been under previous managers as well. So the development of people, and I'd even say Pickford's gone up a level as well. So yeah, there's loads of positives to go from it. I mean, and you look back, obviously, the last few years, we've got to this stage of the season worrying about relegation. Prior to that, we got to this stage of the season just twiddling our thumbs, waiting for the summer, because we had nothing to look forward to or nothing to fight for. And to go into like the last few weeks of the season with something to fight for, it's brilliant, isn't it? We're going to go into, into the last few remaining home games with something to get behind, and it's going to create some hell of an atmosphere down there as well. So yeah, I echo what you said. Everything positive can just snowball then into the summer and go into next season, and hopefully it's with a European place. But if we do fall just short, then so be it. We've got the foundation and the building blocks to push on again next season.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Spot on, Mike. Spot on, Pep. I just hope in the background that we're working hard now on potential signings, and obviously we won't know until what European competition, what sort of lengths we can stretch to. But I just hope that they've had a good 12 months and Sparta's smashing the narrative of we're not prepared or we just jump on a whim. Over the last couple of seasons, we've not known where we're going to be or whatever, but I'd like to think now we can build towards and have players ready to come in. So we're not sat there in the pre-season tour in the middle of August wondering who we're going to bring in. Do you know what I mean? We want to be set because the qualifying rounds will be early on in, I think it's late July, early August, isn't it? Depending on where we finish. And you want to go into them with your squad. And I just think now's the chance for what we've set up, what we've been asking for, what they've done. Can they build on that now and really grow us as a club and do what we all wish we could do or what we've been wishing to do? I just hope that planning's already taken place.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. That's all you can hope for, isn't it? And there's been a couple of rumours today, Marcus Senesi and Ben White, which are interesting ones, slightly the wrong end of the age spectrum. But if that's what they're looking at, one free transfer, and Ben White as a right back, similar physical frame, not as big as Jake, but obviously someone who's played right back but is a bit more physical, suits David Moyes. If that's what they're looking at, that's what they're looking at. I mean, all we can hope for is if they're going for players, that they're getting nice and early, and we get the deals done, so we don't have, like you just said, we don't want a situation where players come in late, don't get a full pre-season, don't play, and then you're throwing them into one cup game like we did against Wolves, and it all creates a disastrous scenario that allows people to criticise the manager. So hopefully that gets we get that sorted early.
I think building off getting Europe, we have to make sure we're in the European talk again this time next season. And we're not going to do that with a threadbare squad. I know the manager likes and tends to get his best output from a lower squad or when we're up against it. But we do need quality in positions, and we need the same type of Premier League quality and not two squads, as to say, but we need that quality to step in. And I think that's it's probably going to be just, if we do make Europe, summer's probably going to be just as important as it was last year. And people will probably turn their nose up at Ben White because of certain reasons. But if that's who the manager identifies, I think he's earned that for us to go whatever he wants, not to an extent, obviously, but obviously whatever he wants or what he thinks is best is going to get the best out of players into the club. I think we should go with it and just keep our mouth shut and give him the credit he's earned this year.
Yeah, I think the good thing is as well is that obviously with him winning the European Cup at West Ham, he's shown that he knows how to balance the two competitions as well. So that will be good. I think you're absolutely spot on. I think the squad definitely needs a little bit more depth. The manager will know that. I mean, look at his interviews that you guys done with him over in America. He was fuming, wasn't he, with the state of what was going on. And the reality is, we probably need like 4 key signings, in this summer to really enhance the squad. So it's not as much of a big overhaul, is it? We can be a lot more targeted to what we're doing, and you would suspect, with whole backroom team, the negotiation team's all in place now as well. They weren't in place in situ in the summer, so it feels like we're going into it from a place of calm, as opposed to, it was pretty frantic last summer. And I think this summer will be a real testament and an understanding of what the Freakins are like and what structures they put in place and what their drive is for the club moving forward. We'll get a real good idea over the course of the summer.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Spot
nice
on,
one, Mike.
Yeah. No worries, lads. Have a
Nice
good
one
night
for the call,
today.
Mike. Take it easy, mate.
See you later.
That
See you
mate.
later, bud.
Nice one, Mike. There you go. That's Mike. It sounded like he was in his van. I think maybe like in a van driving somewhere. Sound like that?
I mean, he was driving somewhere.
See his camera.
Yeah, I thought he was in a van. It sounded, you can get a visual picture, couldn't you, of like him being in a van?
Always the best people, Mike.
Mike's in vans. Yeah. No, be interesting on that. I mean, I've said this before. Someone might before. It doesn't excite me, but I understand why the manager would go for someone in that profile.
I listened to the discussion before, and from a footballer perspective, I totally get it. But I thought James hit the nail on the head with his points in terms of the character side of it. You know, will he? Is he an Everton player in terms of character? From again, this is just an outside. You just looking at reports. We don't know what, but you know, he has his little bust ups and doesn't look quite mentally robust. And
the England thing's a big.
A couple of red flags.
Yeah, well, he retired for 3 years because he didn't like. Allegedly, he didn't like I think it might have been Steve. No, it wasn't Steve Round. It was the other Steve, and I can't quite remember his name. But he wasn't happy that he'd had a go at him, or he'd asked him to do something like in an aggressive manner, and that was the talk, is that he didn't retire from England because he's back in the squad now, isn't he? But he wasn't happy the way he was spoken to. And also there's a lot of talk that he doesn't like football as well.
Well, he said that himself.
Yeah, and I don't know how well that goes down with our fan base, just in terms of like, we want our players to live and breathe it just because that's the way we do it. And I think you've seen that with the Barry stuff. And again, I won't go into the Barry stuff because we don't really know anything about it. But what we do know is that the lad went on social media and accused Everton fans of doing something. And you heard from the reaction on Saturday, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll leave that up to the people. But Everton fans, a large percent of Everton fans on Saturday showed their feelings to Barry because by putting that post out there, he turned it on the fan base. And this goes back to what happened with a certain board. When you say things about the fan base, you talk about the whole fan base. If you talk about the certain away fans, you're talking about all the away fans. And that's where people have got to be very careful when you come to our football club, is that you've got to be on board. And if you're not on board and people don't feel like you're on board, then you ain't going to last here. Mopai is the biggest indicator of that. The lad thought he could turn up, do what he wanted. Basically, but when criticism was shined on him, put on him, and rightly so, he threw criticism back to Everton fans, and then he reacted to Everton fans after he got the move. Greatest day in my life, blah, blah, blah. I love watching Everton get beat. Lad plays for probably, I have no idea who the lad plays for now, but I know that when he left to where we are now, Everton as a club have had a much higher, better trajectory than his career is, because he failed at Marseille, and wherever he is now, I don't know. He might be milking a cow for all I know.
He'd be missing as well.
Like that, I don't know.
Yeah, I think, you know, the whole Ben White one. It just, again, look, like Mike just said on the previous call, you got to trust the manager. We know from the previous tenure with the manager, he does his due diligence on these things, doesn't he? You know, he tends to really understand.
What I will say is, he only has to pick up the phone to Arteta, and Arteta is currently managing Arsenal like David Moyes manages Everton. He might tell him he's great though, and just go, yeah, he's great. You know, but he'll know exactly what Ben. He won't. Arteta, as self-proclaimed, is still an Everton fan. He won't steer Everton in the wrong direction. If there's I think he'd pick up the phone and say to probably tell Moyes straight. He doesn't have to. It's not his job to sell players. Arteta, it's not his job. He'll tell Moyes, right? He'll just. I imagine anyway. I think Arteta's. I know he comes. I've always had time for Mikel Arteta. I think he's a fantastic footballer for Everton, and his
Pickford will know him from the England scene as well, won't he? And I've seen probably firsthand what's gone on. So they say just on the manager, but in terms of the football side of it, is it an upgrade? Does he add to the squad and add something to the squad? Yeah, 100% he does.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So I'll go back onto Saturday. It's the first time I'd been in there.
Where can I just, before you go on to describe it, then but were you disappointed with the atmosphere being so raucous? Is that a good word, raucous? that you weren't in the south stand?
No, not really. No,
Because you could have done all the nicey in one of the bowling games.
I don't really get like that. I don't like get jealous of like seeing like the away fans and stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not that kind of person. I don't like when I see like the away wins. I don't get jealous of people who go to the away games. I
just love the. I want to look at the atmosphere. I just want to be part of it.
No, I don't. No. I'm not. No, I've lost that. I think it's probably because I do this. I've lost that side of me. I'm just happy we've won.
Yeah,
I'm happy we've won, and I don't. And people who've gone are made up for them. And it was the same on Saturday. I didn't ever want for 1 minute think I'm missing out. Everton won the game, and it was boss. Yeah. I don't need that other stuff. But so from that point of view, no, I was just happy that Everton won. From the point of view of Village Street, it was the first time I'd gone. I've given me tickets away all season to my dad, my sister, my brother-in-law, my mate. I just didn't want to go. I just wanted to be in my own seat and
no, I get that.
Get an experience in my own seat, basically. Mm-hmm. And it just felt like after the Burnley game, seeing us win, I was like this is me last opportunity of the season, so I'm going to go for it. In terms of the place itself, interesting. I mean, I don't know if you haven't been in there. So basically, it's like you go in the centre bit where the players go in, and it is night. That's where everyone goes if they're going to any of the And there's different levels. Village Street's right at the top, and basically you walk in, you turn right, you walk past. It's all so it's an L shape. There's a little bit where it's like made out to look like a pub. You walk down, there's a little stage, it turns right, there's bars on one side and on the other side, it's like food things. You get a token. You get food with your token, but all the ale's free. This is what I can't understand, right? This is what blows my mind. So I got a pizza and I had to pay £4.50 for chips, right? And yet, on the other side of the room, I could have as many pints of lager as I want. Not that I had any because I don't drink. So I don't get that. I don't get how I've had to pay £4.50 for chips, but I could drink all day if I wanted to. I don't get that. I totally don't get that. Maybe there's a form maybe there's a box you should be able to tick. Because I also know food fills you up quicker than alcohol does as well. So there's only so much you can eat, isn't there?
Yeah.
So for the sake of some chips.
Yeah, you could have two different tokens, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could have exactly. So I don't get that. That sounds.
Because I don't drink either, so
But that's weird to me. That you can drink all day before the game, and at that time you can't. You have to pay for it afterwards. The only thing I would say, so that was slightly thing. The only thing I'd say, it's like a sports bar type thing. No seats anyway. No seats. All these tables, not a seat to be had anywhere. So we're eating our pizza standing up against the wall. So I didn't really like that. Having to eat on a wall where everything's you'd have
Feels like you're in a concourse.
I didn't enjoy that. And then our seats that we've got are backed onto where the press box is, so that was brilliant.
Is that where you videoed it from?
Yeah, the seats are unbelievable, but the behind me, that's why it was white. It's the last seat on the row, which I do like that because it means there's no one behind you.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce was right behind me when I used them the other day.
Yeah, so Pat Nevin was there, Alan Stubbs, Materazzi down the other end, all the media people were there. So that was really cool. At the end, I was allowed to just sit and make my video and go downstairs and sit and edit it, and it was nice. And I got a drink, but you have to pay for it after the game. So from that point of view, it was quite nice. It was that side of it was really nice. You could stay for an hour after the game, and you could get seats. But before the game, not having anywhere to sit, I was like, they're not cheap seats, and for there not to be enough seats for the amount of people that are in there is bemusing. I don't get that at all. People paying. Those tickets are very, very expensive, and they're not even the posh. It's not even. They're not posh. It's not a posh area. It's a nice area, but it's not a posh area. So that and the unlimited ale, people were just getting up and down to go for a burst more than anywhere else. Fellas were just getting up and down like you wouldn't believe because they drunk loads before the game, and at half time they're not coming back to 5 minutes, 10 minutes into half time. I don't like that either. But the unlimited ale is just, I just don't get that. How I have to pay £4.50 for some chips. And yeah, I could have gone over there and had 12 Stellas.
You say if you just done it as like someone who wants alcohol and someone who doesn't, different tokens.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. So like, yeah.
Every pint's like £6.50 or something, isn't it?
I just didn't get that at all. Just didn't get that. So yeah. Even if it's just like, or even if they just made it so like your token got you a pizza and chips, so it was like a meal.
Soft drink. Yeah.
That just doesn't make any sense to me, that. But Everton hopefully will learn from all this. The place themselves gorgeous, a lovely place, and yeah, got to see a different side of the game. But it wasn't like, it was still proper fans.
Yeah,
still proper fans. It wasn't like, no one, well, you see,
sat in the stand.
I went with a Paolo Maldini t-shirt on. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like, it's not those shirt and tie.
Yeah.
I hate all that kind of stuff. So it was nice to be there. So anyway, we've got Annabelle, which is Annabelle, where have you gone?
That's second.
Annabelle is knocking about somewhere. We'll get her back on in a minute. The toilet. People are just coming up and down for the toilets.
See, the toilet thing, though, right? Or just the half-time thing. That's the only still criticism I got about the ground. I was saying to my mate, it was again. I think it was the 38th minute, and I said to him, "It's like, look, like we were all over them. The atmosphere was unbelievable, and then." Everyone started emptying out to go because they feel like they've got to get. If you want to drink a drink and the toilet, you've got to go early. I think the toilets are going to be addressed this summer. I'm hoping. Yeah.
But yeah,
is Annabelle back? Is she?
I think we got Annabelle back. I heard something. I heard something in the air, so I thought she was back.
She's back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, James, work your magic, mate.
But as I said, even if it was just your token, got you a meal, so got you pizza and chips, rather than having to pay. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sitting there going, I was going to film. It just.
It's not all you can eat. But
it was just a bit weird that it's like, well, if you're getting a token that essentially that token is only for like a pizza that costs like $6 or $7 or whatever it costs, just that make it a meal, make it a meal deal, make it a pizza and chips or burger and chips or something else and chips like everywhere else. It's just
little things, isn't it?
Just little things like that that can make you go, you know what I mean? That
you shouldn't even be something you're even talking about.
Yeah. Just like add chips to the meal. Anyway.
Ready.
Go on, Annabelle.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Hello, Annabelle. It is lovely to hear your dulcet tones. You have not been around for a while, so it's nice to hear you.
Thank you very much. I've been thinking about this for a while and I wanted other people's opinions on it. Do you think that the lack of strikers, and now we're starting to see it in some right back and left back positions as well, might have something to do with the way the academy systems are set up these days, in that players are encouraged to be what we used to call box to box, but being able to both attack and defend. Do you think that is dulling some of the innate abilities that people have, and certainly the goal hangers that I certainly grew up watching? You know, do you think that's dulling that sense in some of the particularly English players who are going through the academy system, and that's why we're seeing a prolific amount of midfielders who can both attack and defend, but very few out-and-out strikers and out-and-out defenders?
I think it's the market, Annabelle, to be honest. I think it all comes down to the way the market works. This started in Brazil in the 2000s, when Brazilian football clubs, who obviously rely heavily on European football clubs buying their players, they realised that European football clubs wanted big number sixes, box-to-box midfielders. So basically what they did is, probably anyone who was a centre forward or anyone who was big, if they had the traits to play holding midfield or box-to-box midfield, they started to convert them into that player because they knew that's what the European market wanted. No point having number 10s and number 9s if no one wants number 10s and number 9s. So they started converting them. And I think because of that, we started getting less and less number 10s from Brazil and less strikers from Brazil. And then that has slowly seeped into the European game because of Pep Guardiola. Because Pep Guardiola decided that centre forwards weren't needed anymore. But so everyone copied Pep Guardiola, even though he had Messi and then he ended up buying the best centre forward in the world with Haaland. And what we've got is a generation of, like you just said, of kids who have been brought up to play in different positions. It's happened in Italy with the number 10 role. We've got rid of the number 10 role in Italy. We've got rid of strikers because of this false number 9 thing. So we are experiencing that moment right now. But I'm really hoping that people are starting to... Because what happens in football, there's always a rebound, isn't there? Always a rebound. For every Barcelona team, you counter that by having Ronaldo's Real Madrid team. You need the counterpoint. So I'm hoping that academies and stuff will start going, well, hang on, there's no centre forwards. So all these academies around the world that rely on selling their players will be like, well, there's no centre forwards, so we better start making some centre forwards and start pushing players to be centre forwards again. And it will always be dictated, like everything, by the market, like anything else, I suppose. But right now, it just feels like there's absolutely no centre forwards. So hopefully somewhere they're working hard to get centre forwards back into the game. But a lot of clubs are still only playing with one, aren't they? So it's still, and that might be because we don't have that many centre forwards. So how can you do that otherwise? But I
think part of it as well is you've got like the Ajax system, the Barcelona system, and all this sort of like philosophy of having these teams, these younger age groups going all the way through to the first team. And that's tried to be adopted over here, and it hasn't worked yet. So you've got, a situation where the academies are all trying to play a certain way to develop, filtered into the first team, and missing the trick of the fact that they need to develop players. What's the most valuable commodity in football? Strikers. So if you've got an academy system, why don't you play with two up front? Because one of them might make it. And you don't need to mirror the formation that your first team's playing. I don't believe. You just need to create footballers that are going to be valuable or going to be an asset to go into either your first team or B, to then move on to someone else. I think you're right. I think it'll come back round in phases. Because like you said, Annabelle, there's no sort of just goal poachers anymore, but those goal poachers always played in a two. So you had the big guy that was doing the hold-up play and the knock-on play and then the goal poacher, but now the striker has to do all of it on their own. And there's very, very few footballers that can do all of it, which is why there's minimal amount of strikers, because it's such a hard job to be able to be a target man, a hold-up play, run the line and put the ball in the net. To do all of that costs a lot of money to find the odd few that can do it. And it's boring, isn't it? For me, anyway, it's the way football's gone. It's about athletes. It's just athletes all over the pitch.
I find it immensely boring. I'm lucky enough to be, I'm a little bit older than you gentlemen, and therefore I'm lucky enough to have seen the team of the 80s. And where I'm coming from is that I think total football kind of passed us by a little bit in this country. We'd never really adopted that. No. And then the tiki-taki football came in, and it was kind of like we dabbled with it. And then Pep came here, and it's like, oh, look, he's so successful. We've all got to start copying this. And I think that's filtered down into our academies. And I think it's dulling the instincts of that goal poaching kind of centre forward that I certainly grew up watching. I mean, did Gary Lineker ever score a goal that wasn't in the box?
No, I don't think he
didn't get many.
It's like for instance now, isn't it? You've got Brendan Graham, who's putting the ball in left, right, and centre.
Is he related to Braden Graham?
That's who I meant, and his twin brother. But all everyone's talking about is he physically big enough for what? Back, like you say, in the 80s, he would be getting opportunities because he can put the ball in the net, and that was all it was about, because there would be a big striker for him to be the foil for him. Whereas now, if you're just a one up front, you've got to have that physical presence as well. And so you're literally minimising how many people you can find. You can put the ball in the net because you're going on physical attributes as well as the actual technical ability of putting.
I think as well, Annabelle, it's, I suppose for kids as well, it's and Mike would know more about this because he coaches kids football, but I imagine it's who you emulate as well on the playing field or on the school
Yes.
school playground. If that still happens, I don't know. But when I was a kid, obviously we had loads of strikers. We wanted to emulate those strikers, because I don't know what kids are emulating anymore. Are they emulating Messi? Are they emulating Ronaldo? Who else are they emulating? Who did Phil Foden emulate? Was it those Barcelona players?
That's it. I mean, it's usually said in a slightly different context, but if you can't see it, you can't be it. And if kids aren't seeing out and out strikers, you're not going to get kids trying to be out and out strikers.
I don't think kids know what an out and out striker is anymore.
So I don't think they do. But I think as well. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, just on a grassroots level of kids football, just to put that into context, I struggle to get the kids to. So back when I used to play football when I was a kid, you couldn't get anyone to defend.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to score goals. It was like, can you get back, please?
Yeah.
I swear it's the absolute opposite.
No.
I can't get people to get into the box. Yeah. It's mental. And so it is very, very exactly what you just said. It's what they see, they emulate. And they all naturally, as kids, seem cautious about defending. I'm like, get in the box. Let's get goals. It's going to be fun. It's strange. So sorry.
Well, back in the 80s, I qualified when I was a teenager to run the line at kids football. We girls weren't allowed to play, so what could I do instead? I learnt to run the line and to lift a flag and did the official courses and everything. And back then, the game, as I watched it from the touchline, used to be so stretched out, and you used to have to pelt up the pitch to keep in line with the ball when it was delivered up to the strikers. But now, when I watch my nieces play football or kids play football, all they're doing is kind of hanging around in the middle of the pitch, and there's such a clumped amount of kids all standing together because they're expected to just stay together and do a formation instead of looking for attacking opportunities or gaps in the game. I think that there's a certain amount of instincts are being lost.
Yeah, I think there's 2 points there, which I don't know. I think Mike might be a better person for me, but I think one of them is kids play on smaller pitches now till they get to 11. They don't play full size till they get to 11. I mean, I was playing full size when I was 6.
It's older than that now, by the way.
Is it older than that now? So anyway, I was playing full size when I was 6. I was playing under 11s when I was 6. And I didn't really have any problems. I don't understand how I managed to do that, but I was playing under 11s when I was 6, and the pitches were huge, but that gave you loads of space, and you could actually more or less goal hang on the smaller pitches. Now I know it's made to make them more technically better, and I totally appreciate that, but I wonder whether that takes something away from them. And then the other side of it is, I learned how to play football on the streets. I learned how to play, on the roads outside our house, at the bottom of the road. So you're playing on the main road, you've got the 2 entries as your goals. Very rarely did we go up to parks, or very rarely did we have organised football. All we did night and day is play football. And the object of the game when you played football, like we all did when we were playing, whether it be 2 and 8, 3 and in, red arse, it was to score goals. That was the whole there was none of this of course you're trying to stop the other kids from scoring goals, but the whole premise is when you get the ball is to score. And I just wonder whether that's a big part of not having as many strikers, is because kids used to just the joy of playing on the streets was just scoring goals, and we all just wanted to score goals. And now it's like kids are getting in academies at 6, or they're getting into organised footy when they're 6, and I'm just like, where's that gone? Where's that other side of the game? And what annoys me, and I've said this loads of times, I used to take the dog for a walk by Alderey, and there's a multi-purpose football pitch there, like a cage, and there's never anyone playing on it, and it drives me mad. I'd have been playing on that noon, day and night, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if I'd been an older day, I would have bloody got on that pitch. And And I just think we've lost so much on that side of things. Go on, Annabelle.
On the estate where I grew up, we had lots of no ball games signs all over the grassed areas.
We used to
so
use
of course
them to
we
kick
used to use those as
The
goalposts.
goalposts, yeah.
Yeah.
I used
So
to play against the
one would be the
garages.
goalpost, and then, one would be a goalpost, and then you put a jumper down on the other side for the other one.
Yeah.
And we were quite advanced. We put our jumpers down for corners as well as corner flags.
Show off.
Do you have to wear 2 jumpers?
Well, no, there was enough of us to play that but that's what you get when you grow up on a council estate.
But your point, Ped, is absolutely spot on. So so obviously my lad's 13, 14 next month, and all the football he's ever known is organised and sanitised, and cones and bibs and
Trackies with his initials on.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly all that, and it's also all at the same age group. So a big thing for me was, and again, will have been the same for you, you're playing against lads who are older.
Oh, I always played against.
So
I'm saying 6 and I'm playing under 11.
So, but you'd be out on the street and it'd just be, you'd be playing with bigger kids, smaller kids, and it was just, you just went and played. Now it's just, like I say, drills and this and that, and it's just so boring.
But we've lost,
and it's symptomatic to what you see on the pitch now. It really is. We've lost. Goes hand in hand.
Rooney was the last great one. We've lost something, and there's no there's no listen. There's a million reasons why it's happened. It's people aren't willing to let their kids go out, even though I don't think there's any less dangerous people on the streets now than when we were kids.
You just know about
it's just that they had vans and puppies when we were kids. It was that, wasn't it? It was just like a fella will approach you with a puppy, but it was like everyone's so precious about the houses and the cars and everything else now that you can't. I hear, as soon as I do it myself, sometimes I hear a ball bounce outside my house, and I'm looking out. You don't get come anywhere near my car. And I was like, they were the people I hated when I was a kid because I just wanted to play for. I was always like, mate, I am a good footballer. I will not hit your car. I'm proud to say I never broke a window. Do you know what I mean?
I never broke a window unless somebody annoyed me.
Well, you wouldn't with the flag. No, but like, it's just like everything is just like and I totally get it. I totally understand that people don't want to. We disappear for. I mean, we sound like fucking Stranger Things here, but we disappear for hours, and our mum and dads have no way of contacting us. We do live in such a. Like, and can't tell anybody, obviously, I'm not going to ever say to someone like, just let your kids disappear for 7 hours. But that's what it felt like when we were kids. Go on, Annabelle.
I say to my nieces and nephews, I'm so glad I grew up in an age where I did not have to have an electronic tag on me at all times.
Yeah. But the other side of it, Annabelle, is but that's one of the reasons why we were playing footy in our street. Because we actually were somewhere where our parents could see us. Like, and I think that was the thing. It's like they could, or we'd be literally at the bottom of the road. They could see us, they could shout us, and we'd come back.
But also as well, just from a parent perspective, it's like now if I get in and I just, you just want an hour to yourself, your kid goes upstairs on his computer and whatnot. Whereas back then, the parents would be kicking you out so they could have that hour, couldn't they? Getting you out the door, going, so it was like...
Gotta get a sister somehow.
It's like the summer holidays. It was like you say, you're out there 6-7 hours a day every single day, every day. You come back for food and that was it. And you go into anyone's house, wouldn't you? You go into like your mates' houses and stuff, and their mum would make you dinner, and also it's just so different now.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's another problem that I think Mike can probably speak about, and I know that Baz has spoken about it before, and that's how expensive it is for kids to play football now.
Yeah.
How
and the pressure.
Terribly expensive it is to get the pitches. How it's ridiculous. How expensive it is to join a group.
Because they're taking advantage, aren't they, Annabelle, of what we're talking about? They're taking advantage of everything we're talking about. Is that because there aren't any pitches anymore or places to play, and we've driven kids away from that. I've said this a million times, me and Baz. Everton and Liverpool should pay for football cages all over the city, and then certain days of the week go down and put clinics on, and straight away you've got a load of kids that you can keep an eye on. Because you used to have a lot of satellite teams in Liverpool where they were run by coaches of coaches from the academies, and you know all about them, Mike. And they were like not the best players to be in the academies, but some of the other players who were just missed out. And because they're being coached by proper coaches every week, football clubs are like, we'll keep our eye on him, we'll bring him in now and again. I don't understand why the football clubs, two football clubs in this city haven't gone, right, let's build these, put coaches down there. Number one was saving the community, but number two was just keeping an eye on some of these kids who could turn out to, and they need a little bit of time. They're not in the academy systems. I think that's a massive failing of the two football clubs. I just don't understand why. And then you'll get kids playing football again. They're playing in parks, but they don't want big open space. They want like little cages.
What I will say is though, so I mean, you're absolutely right. The cost of football is a fortune, but the hubs, what they do, which is half decent, is during the holidays, the kids' holidays, they do pay as you play, and it's £3. You can be there all day for £3.
Yeah.
So that's the only time my lad actually goes and plays footy in a sort of non-controlled environment. He just goes with his mates. They go down the Simpsons, and I think it might be £3.20. So it's £3.20. But they're in a safe place. You don't, like it's enclosed. Like you say, they can use all the goals. They don't have to run out after the balls all the time. There's toilets there. Everything's there for them. So that's not too expensive in this day and age. It's not too bad.
That's not too bad. Go on, Annabelle.
I don't have children, so I can't say for sure, but I'm fairly sure in Coventry there is absolutely nothing like that.
Yeah.
Because I know from friends and nieces and nephews and that they can't find anywhere for the kids to go. And even, but it just seems to me that the natural instincts are being driven out of kids.
Yeah. But the natural instinct's just to go outside and play football, isn't it, Annabelle? It's literally just that natural instinct to just go outside, look at the sun and not have your eyes burn because they've been in a darkened room playing on a PlayStation. Do you know what I mean? And I had both. I had both when I was a kid. I had all the technology, I had everything, but you'll never better that feeling than playing footy with your mates. And, obviously we weren't online and stuff, but you're never beating that feeling of like winning whatever little tournament you just played against your mates. That's what the status, very much the status in Liverpool was like how hard you were and how good a footballer you were. Now, one of those things I was all right at. The other thing I didn't really want to get involved in. But that was your status when you were a kid in this city. Those two things. And you lived and breathed back. You meet someone and go, yeah, he's good at footy, him, It's like the first thing you'd say about someone, wouldn't you? Like that's your status symbol in this city. And like, we've lost that now. It's how good you are at COD. Do you know what I mean? It's like, he's boss at COD, Honestly, he's got no mates, and he goes to the Toby Carvery at 9 o'clock to pick up a meal. But honestly, waiting for the penny to drop there.
It's like listening off, listening. I was just looking at something.
Well, I think that we all need to be getting on to the FA and get at them to start improving grassroots football, because frankly I think grassroots football is disappearing in this country, and if we allow that to keep diminishing the way that it is, we won't get players coming through in this country. We won't get homegrown talent.
But it's not even that, Annabelle. We won't have kids playing football and just enjoying for the enjoyment of playing football. And I think that's a worse, bigger danger, because if kids are not playing football and occupying themselves and staying fit, then what else are they doing? Do you know what I mean? Paddle, maybe they're playing paddle. I don't think so. They couldn't get on the court for you. You see a kid playing paddle, you'd paddle them off the court. I think we just need to get...
I was talking to a kid the other day, and they said they love playing football. I said, great, where'd you play? Oh, just in my bedroom on my PS.
Yeah,
wow. Like,
that's it. Yeah,
not football.
I love killing Nazis. In my bedroom on my PlayStation. Just wanted to clarify that.
Fair play.
And I thought you were a time traveller.
Well, still a few about now. with a paddle
Well.
bat. What's wrong with you?
On an island
Why
somewhere.
are you sympathising with them? Oh, okay, yeah, you can only hear one side of the conversation. No, I just think we just need. I think we just need kids playing footy, kids out and about playing footy. I think that's what we need, don't we? And never mind the FA, Annabelle. I think certainly in this city, I think it's on the 2 football clubs. Forget about the FA. The Premier League was supposed to set aside a certain amount of money for grassroots football. And there's an account on Twitter, grassroots football account, which is based in Liverpool. And they're always talking about this 5% that the Premier League have never paid. And,
Yes.
you know, the interest is gathering on that. They'll never get it. But they're saying, like, every week when in this city, and Michael, knows more than I do, the kids' footy's getting called off every single week because of waterlogged pitches. They don't play most of the weeks in the winter because of waterlogged pitches. And that's because of the drainage. Or, and all the rest.
And then they lose interest by
the changes are getting burnt out, so kids aren't going to get changed in cars. They're not want to play on these pitches, and they, like Mike just said, they lose interest and they'll find something else to do. And we don't want them finding those other things to do because it's all the things that
we used to have to climb. In Wally Park, the big Astro that's next to the we have to climb over that because they wouldn't let us in.
Yeah, we did. Listen.
Crazy.
We used to climb. We used to play on a school field by ours, and you get legged by the parkies. And it's like it was all part of it. It's like we're getting legged from playing footy. It's like I yearn for those days.
You see, where I grew up, we were very lucky because there was we called it the Rec.
Yeah.
It had a park with swings and things like that, but it also had 10 football pitches.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. What's funny is
that's
Annabelle,
because it was a leftover from the old mining community that was there.
Yeah, we had like where I grew up. I had Sefton Park and I had the APH. We didn't want to play on parks. We wanted to play in very small areas because we didn't want to go chasing for the ball.
That's exactly.
We wanted to play it. And this is the one I'm saying about the cages. It's like kids don't want to go chasing. Like when you shoot and it goes in, but it ends up about 3 miles away. We wanted the game to be continuous. So it goes in, it hits the fence. We actually have this rule that if you kicked the ball over the fence, that meant you were out. If you were playing like 3 and in, or people call it knockouts, or Wembley, people call it. If you kicked it over the fence, that was you automatically out. So you had to make sure you didn't kick it over the fence, because kicking over the fence meant climbing up. But also when you climb out over the fence, you're alerting people that you're in the school. And all those it was all these little things, all these little rules. Because we just wanted these. I was saying about the cages. It's like kids don't want to be. They want small-sided games of footy where they can show off their skills. But mad. But let's just. I
it
don't
was
know.
just something that's been bothering me. Is
Brilliant, Annabelle. Thank you for bringing it up. It was a great call. It was nice to hear you back on here.
Well, thank you very much. Take care.
See you
Have a
soon.
good
Bye.
evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, I think we smashed that topic. Wasn't a topic I thought we were going to smash.
No,
we did.
Great call.
As we did, as you said. Listen, there's loads of time for like playing on your PlayStation, but it's when it's dark and when it's wet and when it's horrible outside. But now the days are getting lighter, it's like kids should be out playing footy.
Yeah, no, like I say, there's.
You know what I mean? They didn't have to put up with white dog poo.
Whatever happened to white dog poo? I don't know.
Something to do with the food.
No, it was because people now picked them up.
No, it was something to do with food.
Oh, they used to eat ash, essentially, dogs.
Come on, someone go. I want to know what happened to it.
Well, we're going now anyway. So we'll have to leave that for now.
Oh, that can be the cliffhanger.
That can be the cliffhanger.
That's a
Whatever
cliffhanger.
happens.
Whatever happens.
Whatever happens. It's a white dog
Make
poo.
that the title. Whatever happened to white dog poo?
But
Changes in commercial dog food formula.
there you go. It's nicer now. It's better. Dog food's better, isn't it?
Oh, there we go.
Better, isn't it? But yeah, it's. Yeah. I mean, you know more than me, mate. It's not.
It's hard because I know both sides. So like even from from the parent side of it, I'm talking about agreeing like they should go out and play. But I also don't want them out. You know, like
No, I get it. No, I totally get it. Because everything in the world and on the media is set up to terrify you.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That this kid went missing or that
Everything's
kid.
videoed as well, and it's sort of like loads of stuff happened when we were kids. You'd be messing around, you get into fights, you get into all, but no one knew about it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
No one's got any of those fires on video.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
No, but do you know? But it's just mad, isn't it? Whereas everything now, it's on video. You know, you've got your kid on bloody live. Follow them wherever the phone is. You can see where they are. And
but
all
that's
this
the mad thing.
stuff.
You can keep an eye on your children. Like now, you do have a tracker.
It sort of makes it worse. It's strange. I don't know.
You do have a tracker on your kids and all this kind of thing, and like so. Again, I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about it. But so I shouldn't maybe be so. But like, I just wish, as I said, the facility get better facilities for them. The ones I know that are bosh. They have floodlights. It looks like a little footy pitch with its floodlights. The floodlights are on until 10 o'clock at night. I'm just like, why aren't I see? Know what I see? Loads of people play basketball on it. Absolute nerds. You know what I mean? You absolute nerds. So there you go.
There you go, indeed.
Right, we're going because I've got to go somewhere, and Mike's got to go somewhere. He's left his kid in a park somewhere. Doesn't know what park. Just left.
My phone died, so I don't know where he is.
He's just gonna go bouncing around all the parks. So if you see a slightly bald,
puppy.
See a slightly bald man in a van with a puppy, it's just Mike. Honestly. Right. See you all later. Bye.